Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN, and welcome to the Lakers post-game show on ZSPN on YouTube. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Utah Jazz tonight. Now, guys, before I get into the Lakers' amazing, great effort on their part when it comes to facing the Utah Jazz tonight, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff. And of course, like always, please be sure to like my page on Facebook, ZSPN, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ZSPN. Much appreciated. So guys, yeah, I mean, finally the Los Angeles Lakers showed some effort and the confidence of facing the Utah Jazz tonight. I mean, the Utah Jazz is basically one of the top teams in the Westbrook Conference when it comes all said and done. And surprisingly, the Lakers pulled off this win. And I have to say, there was effort, there were confidence, and the Lakers, they just came to play without a doubt. And I was just so impressed by most of the Lakers tonight who really stepped up out there tonight, especially when it comes to Russell Westbrook when he, in the first half, showed some effort out there when it comes to giving us, I believe, 10 points in the first half, which honestly was a good momentum when it comes all said and done. I mean, LeBron had 25 points out there tonight. I mean, continuing to dominate for the Los Angeles Lakers, probably since December of 2021. And it was just one of those type of moments where, the Lakers in general need to step up when it comes to having aspirations to have a playoff run or a potential championship goals. But starting, I'm probably too overhyped and excited of how the Lakers were playing tonight. But as it stands now, this is what we need to see from the Los Angeles Lakers, especially from Russell Westbrook, who had shown a monstrous dunk against Rudy Gobert. So when it comes down to it, this is the type of Russell Westbrook I want to see, the assassin, Mamba mentality-esque type of player. I mean, this is what we wanted to see before the regular season ever started. We never saw it. We probably saw a glimpse of it, but this time around, when it comes to this type of performance, sure, he gave us 15 points, but that's plenty enough. He needs to be a guy who goes out there, helps out the Lakers here and there, and just, facilitates the ball and just try to help the Lakers try to win games. He doesn't need to be the guy, the number one guy, the number two guy, or anything like that. He needs to be a teammate who goes out there and helps out the Lakers when it comes all said and done to try to win games. And that monstrous dunk against the center, Rudy Gobert, it was just something very magical and dominant type of a play that I think I speak for most Laker fans when it comes all said and done, that it was great to watch. Even though he got technical, I don't think Laker fans, including the Lakers bench and Frank Vogel, cared about that, because that was a monstrous type of dunk that I haven't seen anything like that in quite some time from Russell Westbrook. So, and here's a clip of it, guys. Please give me your thoughts about it. I mean, I have to say this was honestly the best dunk out of Russell Westbrook's career as a Los Angeles Laker. And check it out.
On the arc.
Russ! Throw it down! Throw it down, Russ! Down the middle he goes!
Then he gets a technical for taunting. Getting into the paint and then exploding. Did he ever explode over the top of Gobert? Oh, wow, that's just a monster dunk by Russell Westbrook. This is one of those where you say...
So yeah, guys, that monstrous dunk against Rudy Gobert like that, I mean, it showed that the assassin type of player that Russell Westbrook is capable of giving us. And we haven't been really seeing that from Russell Westbrook as of late. And when it comes down to it, sure, he has some perks when it comes to giving us triple doubles and, tries to, give us big numbers. But, he's in a different situation. I mean, when it comes to how he was playing in OKC or a glimpse from the Washington Wizards, or maybe the Houston Rockets briefly, we saw how he was never in a situation where he was in a top, a top, excuse me, franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers. Excuse me, I had a big blank right there. Excuse me. So when it comes down to it, he's in an organization where they are well known of winning championships as a franchise. And when it comes to the spots that he was in, the destinations, I mean, when it comes to OKC and the others, he never had an opportunity to be on a winning team. And, the Los Angeles Lakers have a history of doing so. And, that's something we're just hoping to see from Russell Westbrook, but we haven't been really seeing that. But when it comes to this one, I have to say, his performance tonight, I saw in the first half also, was great on his part. And even though he gave us 15 points, that's plenty enough for me because he showed some other signs of helping the Lakers tonight. I mean, he had a solid shooting night. I mean, I haven't really checked the stat line, but either way, he really shows that he can participate and help the Lakers win games and help especially LeBron, who is carrying the load when it comes to, not having Anthony Davis and, when it comes to recently with Carmelo Anthony being out. This is his third game being out due to a back injury, but hopefully it's not anything too serious that will keep him out for a lengthy period of time. But, obviously, those two players being out, some of the Lakers out there needed to carry the load. And in the last game against the Denver Nuggets, that wasn't the case. But this time around against the Utah Jazz was something to really admire from the Lakers, who really, in general, stepped up out there tonight. And when you look at the starting lineup, Frank Vogel went with a different lineup. They had Trevor Ariza put in, and then obviously having Dwight Howard be inserted. It was obviously for many reasons because, they had to play big against the Utah Jazz because they have one of the best defenders of the NBA, and that is Rudy Gobert. So obviously have Dwight Howard being inserted into the starting lineup was a smart move by Frank Vogel. And, it was just one of those type of situations that it was just a smart move by Frank Vogel. So when it comes down to it, most of the Lakers tonight stepped up in their own right when it comes down to it. And, having Malik Monk being back in the bench role, it was also a smart move because obviously having Carmelo Anthony being out, the lack of shooting and the lack of energy off the bench was missing. And having Malik Monk being inserted there is just something that the Lakers needed to make. And, we saw a glimpse of him in the first half, honestly, was a great help on his part, in my opinion. But, when it comes down to it, Stanley Johnson, the guy who's signed recently to another 10-day contract, gave us 15 points, I believe 15 points out there tonight. I think he shot very well from the three for the Los Angeles Lakers. And we saw, obviously, the number one trait that he brings to the table is his defensive side. And that's what we've been, seeing from the Lakers. That's like the missing link from the Lakers for the past couple of games. So we haven't seen a lot of solid defense from the Lakers as of late. But this time around against the Utah Jazz, we saw a pretty solid defensive team out there tonight. I have to say the Lakers really stepped up on the defensive side, especially from Stanley Johnson. And then when you look at the rest of the stat line, when it comes down to it, Malik Monk went out there tonight and gave us 14 points, and it was obviously much needed when it comes to him being back in the the bench role, as I mentioned. So obviously, it was such a good move by Frank Vogel when it comes to the rotation. And then obviously THT. I mean, he had 11 points, but the main focal point of the second unit was Stanley Johnson, who really stepped up for the bench out there tonight without Carmelo Anthony being in the rotation due to, as I mentioned, with a back injury. And, just when it comes to the second half, I mean, especially when it comes to the fourth, the Lakers, they were up by, I believe, like 4 points. But, they were confident that they wanted to keep this lead that they're on, and they just continued on. Showed a lot of defense in the like, maybe like 2 minutes left into the game. And it was just a great transition when it comes to the Lakers on the defensive side. Tried to, hold things together when it comes all said and done. Because any given moment, the Utah Jazz, they could have just, shot a three or maybe did some sort of move, layups, mid-range shots that could have, hurt the Lakers' circumstances. Because, when it came to the end of the third quarter, I was at the moment when I was going to say, here we go again, the Lakers are falling under the pressure. But when it comes down to the fourth, they capitalize, and I was just so impressed on the defensive side from the Lakers when it comes down to it. And we have to commend on the great defense out there from the Los Angeles Lakers and finally getting us a win after going on a 3-game losing streak. And, when it comes down to it, the Lakers are, last time I checked the standing in the playoffs, the Lakers are in the play-in tournament, but they're in the ninth seat in the play-in tournament. So that's a bad sign when it comes to the Lakers and their chances of, competing for a playoff run or just having, playoff aspirations or championship aspirations. I mean, that's like a bad sign there. And, the Lakers in general, they haven't been really playing very well when it comes down to it. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, it's the headline for the Lakers as of late. And when it comes down to it, with this big road trip that they have moving forward, it's going to be very interesting to watch how the Lakers will face certain teams that are top tier type of teams. I mean, I believe last time I checked the stat line, or no, not stat line, the scheduling, the Lakers are facing teams like the Brooklyn Nets. I believe one of the teams that are on that list is, well, I can't really think of it on the top of my head. All I know is I'll show you guys here the scheduling. Obviously, the Lakers have a big road ahead of them. I believe the next game they'll be facing is the Indiana Pacers, so that could be a potential win, but still remains to be seen about that. And there's some easy winnable ones. Maybe the Lakers could get under their belt, but still remains to be seen about that. But I was just very impressed by the Lakers tonight, and hopefully they just keep this momentum moving forward. And when it comes down to it, I just hope that these keep this momentum, because I'm just tired of seeing the Lakers lose against certain matchups that are potential winnable ones. So when it comes down to it, I know the Orlando Magic is also on their scheduling, so maybe that could be an easy win moving forward. But still remains to be seen about that. So let's just hope, guys, that the Lakers, after this win, will turn things around and start winning games moving forward. And just really can't wait to see more from all of our Lakers, showing the effort and the confidence to step up, and especially when it comes to Russell Westbrook and others who really need to step up for the Los Angeles Lakers moving forward, and not having LeBron James carry the load, because you never know, guys. I mean, knock on wood, if anything happens to LeBron James, injury-wise, because of the pressure and the just him carrying the team on his back, the Lakers could potentially, it could be a done deal for the Lakers when it comes down to it. And let's just hope it doesn't come to that. But, hopefully the Lakers will turn things around moving forward and for the better after this win against the Utah Jazz. And guys, I really want to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Please give me your thoughts about the Lakers win against the Utah Jazz. Do you think it was a great effort from the Los Angeles Lakers, or do you think that the Lakers got lucky? I mean, there's a lot of opinions when it comes to the Lakers and their win against the Utah Jazz, but it could be a bad Utah Jazz team. You never know. So it's just one of those type of moments that the Lakers capitalized on the opportunity and they got the win. And I'm just so impressed by the Lakers for showing their efforts out there tonight. And hopefully they just keep this momentum moving forward. And I really want to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and guys, please make sure to hit that notification bell right next to the subscribe button so you will know when I upload on this channel. And of course, I like all of my social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter @ZSPN. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.